Good morning. The essay we will be focusing on is the essay titled Brutal by Bao Fi. We have broken up the essay in sections and will explain the main points and connect them to the ethos, pathos, and logos appeals within the text. The beginning section of the essay, pages 81 through 86, are heavily focused on Bao Phi's early life. Bao Phi is a Vietnamese refugee that was raised in Phillips, Minnesota. Bao attended a school that was full of different races, yet he still felt like an outcast. He explains that he felt as if he never had a day off. Bao writes about how if he even wasn't getting picked on that day, that type of feeling was always with him. Bao faces many challenges with being a Southeast Asian refugee, and it continues to carry out throughout his years. In this section, the key main point that I found was the sense of not belonging due to his race as a Southeast Asian refugee. Bao points out many instances in the text and how he feels he does not belong as a Southeast Asian refugee, living here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. On page 83, Bao says, "If someone asked me the classic question, 'Where are you really from?' I had no idea how to answer them." This quote shows how Bao doesn't know where he fits in. It's as if he doesn't feel he belongs anywhere. Another part in the text that Bao emphasizes this main point is on page 84. He says, "Then when I got home, I dealt with my weakness, my cowardice, by imagining I was someone else, somewhere else. A place with swords made out of lasers, spaceships shaped like wind-thrown hawks, a cape for every hero." Bao often brings up the fact of being in a made-up world, often to do with dragons or mythical creatures. He doesn't feel as if he belongs, so he takes himself somewhere else, somewhere that he can escape to, and feels like he belongs. Another part of the text that emphasizes this main point is on page 81. He says, "Okay, so all Asians are forever foreigners. We don't belong here no matter what we do. Go back to where you came from. We all know this." Another point in the text that shows a sense of not belonging is on page 84. He says, the article that suggested we were stealing people's pets and eating them. In sixth grade, a little girl talked about how she saw some family cooking some parrots in their backyard in some huge cauldron, as if they were witches, her voice thick with disgust. All those eyes, those African and African American and Chicana, and American Indian and white eyes swung toward me and the two or three other Asians there. This quote clearly shows a sense of not belonging, as this girl portrays this story of Asians eating animals. The whole class veers towards him, making him feel as if he is alone in this world, making him feel as if he is some type of outcast. Now I will be talking about how Bao uses logical appeals in his text to win over the resistant reader. In the first quote, Bao tells a story of a time where he heavily felt he didn't belong. Using the story provides a pathos approach. He uses the story to use an emotional appeal tactic to the audience. The next quote, Bao uses a logos approach. To win over the resistant reader, Bao references data in his text, using logic. The last quote, Bao uses an ethos approach. He uses credibility by confidently delivering his statement and relating it to himself.